If you want to start a business, you don't talk to somebody who has a failing business. You talk to someone who is succeeding in business, because they can tell you how they succeeded in business. It just looks like at this day and age, everybody's going online to talk to single women, feminists, and single men, manosphere and red pill, who they have not held a marriage in their life, and we're going to talk to them about how to hold a marriage or how to get married. It blows my mind. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Guys, you know what to do. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate your sub today. I'm trying to reach that 1,000 subscriber mark so I can become a YouTube partner. Without further ado, guys, let's watch today's video.
I've been married for 8 years. I have 3 kids with my husband. My husband is overseas and has been for about 2 years. He comes home 3 times a year. I've been lonely, so I ended up cheating on my husband. Well,
I was just about to say, like, I didn't want to speak over it because she was speaking really fast. I was just about to say that's a recipe for disaster. What, he comes home 3 times a year? That's a recipe for disaster. Guys, if you're going to get married, get married. But you still need to operate within the confines of marriage. There are just certain things, behaviors, way of life, way of living that you just can't have, or else the marriage won't survive. And this is one of them. Right? It doesn't matter who does it, whether it's the husband who's missing in action or the wife who's missing in action. You're basically placing your marriage at risk.
So for context, I end up meeting this guy at a bar and we have a one-night stand. And it was amazing. So that one-night stand turned into an almost every night stand.
Hey!
Oh,
This has been
more
going
than
on
once.
for about 2 years. Anyway,
Right.
I recently started going to his house.
Oh.
Long story short, today I found out that I'm pregnant.
It's
Yesterday,
finished.
I went to his house and I see a wall full of pictures. And y'all, my husband is in the photo.
Oh!
Don't mean it. I'm looking at the man in the picture.
I start freaking out internally and I go and sit down. She goes back to the wall and she's like, okay, and who's this man? This guy said, oh, that's my brother. He starts telling me that they're really close, but he doesn't see him much.
Wait,
because
this
he
sounds
lives
fake.
overseas. So I'm like, oh, okay. Do you know if he's married? He said, oh, yeah. He lives with his wife and 2 kids in Germany.
Damn.
Oh!
I'm thinking to myself, his wife and 3 kids are
The
in the
drama's a
United
lot.
States of America.
Oh!
He starts showing me pictures of my husband with 2 kids and the children look identical to my sons.
Wait,
I'm just staring
identical.
at these pictures in disbelief. Mind you, I still haven't told this man I'm pregnant with his child, who is also his brother's
his
child.
brother. All right, guys, that one confused me for a bit there. So it's his brother she got pregnant for. And then the part that confused me is that he said that the children look identical to her kids. So is it that it's the same kids that he's flaunting but saying he's in Germany? Or is he actually got other kids? Be that as it may, I had already closed this case from the very get-go. Even if all the drama didn't come after, it kind of sounds really exaggerated, but I do know, maybe it's the way they narrated it, I do know things like this happen. It does happen. You can't be married and then you take off for months. Both man and woman, regardless of what you may think, whether the man is more sexually driven or the woman is more emotionally driven, regardless, those 2 things have to meet often. And if it doesn't, apart from the sexual desire, you're looking at connection, you're looking at intimacy, you're looking at safety, right? You're looking at trust. All these things work hand in hand when you're kind of in fellowship. So when you take off for months on end, whether it's for business or for this or for that, you're placing your marriage at risk. Unless for some reason, and this does happen as well, especially in African marriages back in the day. And actually, forget African marriages. We've heard the rumors with royal families and things like that. The marriage is a marriage of convenience, right? It's just 2 families coming together. You're only doing it to be in public, right? Publicly, and as heir to this and heir to that. You're married for the sake of an empire, sake of a business or whatever, but in secret you can have your lovers, right? That's the only time that works. But if it's true love, you want to live for God, you want to get married the right way, do it the right way, none of you can disappear for months on end. So you're just gonna have to make that work, and you're just gonna have to find a way to make sure that you're present, both man and woman. be present in a marriage. It gives your marriage the necessary tools to be successful. Without that, you're basically like taking your marriage and dropped it in the midst of a landmine or in the midst of serpents. There's something about the sexual encounter of men and women in marriage. The more you are intimate, the less enticing or the less temptable you are, because you have it, you get it. The less you get it, or the more scarcely it appears, the more enticing or temptable you are outside, which is why I believe scripture tells us to never withhold intimacy from each other. There's a reason for that. But a healthy marriage that is intimate as often as they want to be intimate without any restrictions, temptation doesn't come as easily. So leaving your wife for 3 months, but then having said that, we know the reason why he left, right? He was doing that, so it makes sense. How can you be away from your wife for 3 months? Come on guys, don't ever enter these type of situations. What do I do when I enter this, if I find myself in this situation? My advice is to advise those after you, because you're in it. You're in it now. What are you gonna do? You can't regret. You can't go, oh, I should have done that, or I should have done that. You've done it. You've entered it. You can only make the best or the most of a worse situation. Advise the young people. There's something to be said, which is missing this day and age, which is why all our young people, or young men and women, are finding comfort or advice or counsel on the internet. And the internet gives them all sorts of wrong advice, because the internet only pushes negative news. It pushes narratives that suits it. People who are literally in the wilderness of the internet speaking the truth, they don't get pushed by the internet or Google or YouTube. They don't get pushed because they're telling the truth, which is again in line with the Bible. But my point is, when a lot of older people, should I say, or people who have gone before us have made mistakes, your job is to literally look behind you and tell that young person behind you, hey, look, don't go there because I just went in there, right? And I'm trying to claw myself out of it. If you're in it, you're just going to have to pray for strength. You're just going to have to ask God for help. Obviously, if it's cheating, you have grounds to divorce. If it's domestic violence, I would say run for your life. But anything else, you're just going to ask God. You have to ask God and speak to your elders, speak to your pastors, speak to those above you. Seek counsel so that you can navigate that, depending on where you want to take it, whether it's to split, whether it's to stay, whether it's to whatever it may be, whatever you want to do, seek counsel. But more importantly, look behind you. Do you have children? You need to talk to them. Don't let them be men haters or women haters. Talk to them. Say, look, I own this because I knew about this from the beginning and I didn't do anything. Or I was told or counseled when I was younger not to go for this man, and I went for him anyway. And here I am. You have to do that. You can't do this thing that the modern people are doing, which is to double and triple down. Like Tia Mowry, instead of staying in the marriage, she chose to leave for whatever the reason. And instead of saying, okay, I made a mistake, or okay, I chose wrong, okay, this is what I did wrong, let me do it better. She's like, oh, I graduated, essentially finished the marriage, I don't need it anymore, I can just graduate the marriage and then go on to another life. It's her just doubling down, saying that, she was right in her choices. Now, I don't know what happened in their marriage. I don't know what went wrong or what went right. My wife probably knows, because I think she followed them quite a lot, but I don't really know what happened. But I don't recall hearing any nefarious stuff. Be that as it may, guys, it's this thing where people of this generation don't accept or at least talk about where they may have gone wrong. Rather, they double down and they say they were right in everything. Like the woman who didn't do her womanly duties in marriage will say, well, that's a stereotype from back in the day, we don't do that no more. Double down. The man who was supposed to do X, Y, and Z, comes and says, oh, well, it's because of this or it's because of that. This is what we're doing these days. But the Bible talks about elderly women, older women, or people who have gone through before, the wise, who are supposed to take under their wing. The women take on the younger women, the men take on the younger men, and you give them counsel, you guide them. Look, young people, just because you see this happening, these videos that I'm showing you, doesn't mean it will happen to you. Guess how you can avoid that? counsel. There are people around you. There are those around you who are successfully married. There are those around you who are successfully in long-term relationships going towards marriage. There are pastors around you. There are elders around you. There are friends in your circle that are married. Go to them and get the secret, right? The cheat code, should I say. If I go through something and I take the hard road and I manage to survive and I'm successful and I'm happy and you watch my marriage from afar and you're like, wow, I want to be like them. Go get the cheat code. Go to them. What did you do? How did you make it work? How can I have this in my life? Don't do this thing, right? Which is unfortunately the trap of the internet. You just watch people live a false life, or you watch people give false advice, or you watch people just tell you how things are supposed to be and you don't even know them from Adam. Use the internet for how it should be used, but it shouldn't be something that you use that takes power over your life. For example, like the internet, the narrative now is on the internet is that marriages are not happening. Divorces are high and crazy. People shouldn't be getting married. People can't get married. Like, that's the narrative online. But the truth of the matter is there are married people around you. There are happily married people around you, young couples around you, people who have been successful. They're right next to you. Go talk to them. Don't just look around and wing it. You can't wing it. So when you see videos like this where they're just so outrageous, you have to understand that there would have been red flags, there would have been things that they had done that were not supposed to have been done. There would have been people who have spoken and said, whoa, 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 this shouldn't be happening. Imagine you visit your friend and she tells you her husband is going off 3 months at a time. Even you would be like, whoa, what's going on there, right? Then you can't tell me that there was no counsel, there was no this, there was no that. So this is what I'm saying. Look, young Christian, pay attention. This doesn't have to happen to you. And how do you avoid that? Counsel. Talk to people. Search out people who are wise, people who you see are doing it right. Not the ones that are hiding. You can see genuinely. You can see that there's nothing to hide. You can see that they're even so happy and open to talk to you and tell you about marriage, right? They're joyful enough to say, look, this thing that I got, you need to have it too. Talk to them, because they're the ones that will give you the cheat code. They're the ones who are going to tell you the truth. They're the ones who are going to say, look, it's not all rainbows, it's not all colors, it's not all butterflies. This is the cheat code, this is what you need to do, this is how you need to do it, and then if you can get through this, then you get to where we are. That's what you need. Don't be afraid of marriage. Don't let the narrative online fool you. Marriages are just as complicated, difficult sometimes, and as rewarding as they've always been. You do it right, you are happy for life. You've got somebody that will ride or die, do whatever it is that needs to be done to make you happy. Guys, what do you think of the video? Did you think it was as outrageous as I thought it was? Or, you know, I'm not saying it's outrageous as if it never happened. I've certainly heard stories like this. It was just the way it was chopped. I thought, wait a minute, it just sounds a bit, you know, regardless, I do know it happened. So what do you guys think of the video, guys? Have you had somebody around you who had the story? Do you know anyone with the story? Are you afraid of this happening to you? Is that why you're not going into marriage or relationship? Do you think the worst when it comes to marriages, or are you looking towards marriage and you still want to get married in spite of these type of narratives out there? Do you have people around you that you can talk to? Are you part of the church? Are you part of a social gathering? Do you have friends around you that you can talk to? Guys, go and get some counsel. If you want to start a business, right, you don't talk to somebody who has a failing business. You talk to someone who is succeeding in business, because they can tell you how they succeeded in business. It just looks like at this day and age, everybody's going online to talk to single women, feminists, and single men, manosphere and red pill, who they have not held a marriage in their life, and we're going to talk to them about how to hold a marriage or how to get married. It blows my mind. Regardless, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Please remember, I have a reaction channel. Please go over there and give me a like, comment and sub. I react to trailers, movies, movie reviews, all other shenanigans. Please go over there, give me a like, comment and sub. And if you enjoyed my reaction to this video, as well as my advice and my rant about this topic, please give me a like, comment and sub. I'll see you guys on my next video.